I'm Caleb Brooks with the AHSAA Radio Network. I'm at Chelsea High School, joined by head volleyball coach, Coach Jessica Pickett. And Coach, for you girls here, it's been a great start to the season. It's been, you're already in double-digit wins. You finally did suffer your first loss last week, but like I was telling the girls, y'all play 50-something games. You're gonna lose at some point, when you play that many. But tell me, what is it that's really helped y'all start off so hot this year and really be so successful on the court?
I think we've developed a foundation, and they kind of know we need to work hard. We don't have any 6-footers, so we have to outwork our opponents. So they've worked hard in the spring. We had a really good summer where they worked hard, and then when we started playing games in July, we had some success. So I think we kind of fed off that, and it continued into the season.
You mentioned not having any 6-footers, and in volleyball, that's kind of rare. You look around, there's always going to be teams that have tall people, and when you do have a shorter team, how do you, change your scheme and change the way that you play in order to, get to where you can play at a level that they can play at, because they can't go up and block shots all the time and go up and spike balls all the time. So how do you change your style of play when that happens?
All right, so we've just kind of shifted our focus to defense, and I love the saying that championship or defense wins championships. So we focus on that in our passing. We do a lot of jump work outside of the season, agility work. So we just focus on what we can control, and that's just outworking people.
When you don't have the ability to get up way above the net and spike and score that way, the way that some teams can, on offense, how do you get your points? How do you produce offense in that way?
Well, we might not have any 6-footers, but we have some girls that can jump and they can get up, and we're really fast at the net. So, yeah, we don't have the height, but we make up for it in other ways, like being faster and being able to jump higher. So.
Talking to you a little bit before, you talked about you started the program in Otagoville and started the volleyball program there. And when you're at a place and you jumpstart a program, I went to Reeltown a few weeks ago. They just started volleyball a couple of years ago there. And what's the difficulties of getting a program started for volleyball and really having to teach everybody volleyball from scratch?
Well, first, it's important to get people interested in it, because if they haven't been around it, it's hard to pull girls. And that's kind of what I struggled with there. Like, we started the team literally the first day of school, my first year of teaching. But it was just getting girls interested in learning the game, because it's a lot different than what we're working on. You got to start from scratch, the basics. Our girls have a lot of the basics here at Chelsea because they start in middle school and move up. So we had to start with the basics there, breaking down serving and passing. So.
After being at a place where you had to teach the basics that way, being at a place like Chelsea now where they already come pretty much prepared, obviously you still got to do coaching, but they're more prepared than they were there. how much easier does that make your job?
I guess it makes it a little bit easier, but still we do have to kind of work on that basic stuff and the foundation, because we're not quite where we want them to be. But when we have them for 4 years and work with them starting in 9th grade and all the way up, it's a lot easier when they actually have that foundation from middle school. And Chelsea's actually starting Little League volleyball program, so that's helpful. I think that's getting the interest with the girls a lot younger than what they have been.
You talked about being an assistant in Alexandria, and that's a good volleyball program as well. And how much do you look back on your time being an assistant there and really use that to help, build the success that you've now built here at Chelsea?
Yeah, it was fun. As an assistant, I learned a lot from the girl that was an assistant there, and now she's the head coach there, and from the head coach, and I just think we worked well together. So I learned a lot about creating a complete program, not just worried about your varsity, but from the bottom all the way up. And Alexandria is a little bit different. Their middle school is close to the high school, so they work very well together. So I learned a lot about kind of working with your coaches and starting with the foundation there. So it was nice to have a good coaching relationship there and learn a lot from them. So I think I carried that over here to Chelsea.
Victoria talked about that volleyball at Chelsea hadn't always been important and hadn't always been something that all the kids wanted to do. And it seems like when you came, that changed and it started becoming more important. How did you get people more interested in volleyball and really build this program into where it's at now?
I think it took a lot. I think the administration took a chance, because before I got here, they didn't have a coach on campus, and I think that makes a big difference when they see me all day and they can come to me during the school day. So I think it really started there, and I think the girls just bought into my philosophy and what I was trying to do. And then I think just kind of winning some got some more people interested in it as well. So them buying in was a lot of it.
You know, Bailey Drew talked about she's going to miss playing for you. You know, so her senior year is bittersweet because she gets to have all the experiences, but she's going to miss playing for you. But, you know, I think to me one of the most important keys of being a coach is getting your team to play for you, to want to play for you, to want to go out there and put themselves on the line for you. As a coach, how do you do that? How do you get your team behind you and really make them want to play for you?
I think it goes back to me seeing them all day, the relationships that we build. And I tell them all the time, it's bigger than volleyball. I want them to be successful women, to be successful in college, and then after college, be successful wives and successful career women. So I think it's bigger than volleyball for us. And I think carrying those life skills over into volleyball just kind of helps us. And I think the relationships are a big part of it. Like, those girls are like my daughters. And so I think that's a lot of why they bought into it. They understand that I care about them. So,
like we mentioned, a lot of success here early in the season. And you know, you never want to be playing your best volleyball early in the year. You want to be playing later. So how do you feel about it right now? Do you feel like there is a lot of room to improve for your team, or do you feel like y'all are playing really, really good right now, and does that worry you?
Well, definitely that's something that we've talked about, and it's exciting that as a team we have a lot of stuff that we need to improve on, and it's exciting that they come in ready to work every single day. We watch film and they can kind of see a lot better what they need to work on, but yeah, we have so much room for improvement. We're definitely not playing our best volleyball, and hopefully we can peak in October and put it all together and be playing our best at the right time.
Yeah, and like I mentioned to them, y'all have a target on your back. I mean, you're top 5 in the state. You know, right now y'all are the favorite in your region. And what's your message to the team? How do you preach to them on dealing with that and you know, knowing that each game you're getting everybody's best?
Yeah, and we've talked about that too. Every single day we've got a target on our back, but a lot of it is doing stuff right all the time. So somebody else isn't celebrating after the game. So not just turn it on at game time, doing your best at practice to prepare for those situations. I put them in pressure situations in practice because we're going to be in those in the game. But they understand everybody's going to give them their best game, and we just have to come in prepared. And the biggest thing we talk about is let's just have fun, and I think the rest will take care of itself. And I think that'll be our philosophy going in. Let's have fun, and
yeah.
Because if we put too much pressure on ourselves, it's going to catch up with us. So we're just having fun right now.
You mentioned having a lot to improve on, but what have you seen that you like from this team where you go, if we can keep doing this and just improve a little bit in this area, it can really carry us to where we want to get to?
I think the thing that sticks out to me that we do well is our energy. Like, this group talks a lot on the court, and sometimes we're super loud and people look at us like we're crazy, but I think that's the positive for this team. If we can keep that going, I think everything else will take care of itself.
How important
they feed
is
off
communication?
of that. Oh, it's very important in volleyball. That square that you're in with 6 people at one time, you've got to be communicating at all times. And it kind of throws the other team off if you can communicate a lot. So I think we've done that well for the most part this year, and if we can keep that, I think it'll carry over into the rest of our game.
Well, Coach, I really appreciate you taking the time to sit down with me. Yeah, good luck to you guys the rest of the year. Looking forward to seeing how this year shapes out, and hopefully we see you guys down in Montgomery later on this year.
Thank you.